tips. Good Lord. Tips are happening already. Thank you, Redbeard Viking. Thank you, Steve. Oh, Amy. Amy started a tipping war. Thank you. All tips tonight are going to the RSPCA, Warrington, Halton and St Helens, to help animals in need and the people that look after them during the COVID-19 crisis. Yes, my messages are a bit slower than real time. There is a lag. So I think you guys are about 30 to 40 seconds behind me. So I'm just going to keep talking. And when I see messages come through, I will respond to them. But it's lovely to see everybody popping up in the comments. Started to see people. Kelly's here. Welcome, Kelly. Oh, I think Kat figured out how to tip her notes. Thank you, Miss Kitty Cat, for your notes. Totals rising all the time. Yay. Thank you, Ruth, for your notes. We are raising money for the RSPCA. This is wonderful. Okay. So, people are arriving. People are tipping. I'm going to get straight into it because earlier in the sound check, my encore didn't work. So I might get cut off at some point at the end of the 30 minutes without having a couple of extra minutes to wrap things up. So I'm going to get going on the first poem and I'll see your comments come in. Please continue to talk to me so I don't feel weird about just talking to a laptop on my own. That would be super. Okay? Okay, so we're going to start. So I think pretty much everybody who's watching this knows why we're here. We're raising money for the local RSPCA, and as such I've been doing the 2.6 challenge and I've written 26 brand new poems this week and I'm going to read a selection of them for you tonight. So I don't know how many we'll get through. We'll see how it goes with the show. Yes, you can buy more notes. You can buy more notes in the top right hand corner of your screen over there somewhere. That way, I think, up the top. You can get more notes in your notes balance at the top and then add them as tips during the show. Johnny Johnson tipped 50 notes. Generous gentleman. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to get going. I'm going to read you something. This is, some of them are kind of soppy and some of them are kind of fun and some of them are kind of empowering. And there's one right at the end that might make me cry. So if you want to see me cry, tip lots of notes. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to read you this one. It's quite short. This is a cute little set of haikus, which is basically just about this whole experience for me doing these poems and how it's made me feel. So this is Words of Mine. Days begin with words, curations of emotion, talking to no one. Then the words come back. Slow trickle of somebody's. Enjoyed it. Helped me. Needed this today. The way the words come back means more than how they went. Sent nowhere with hope. Felt everywhere. Words of mine. Hope returns to me. So that is a sweet little poem to kick things off about basically how nice it's been to do this experience, have you guys respond, and to feel like I'm not alone and I'm not talking to nobody when I put these videos out there for poems, because people come back to me all day like, oh, I heard that this morning, that was really good, and or even if it wasn't, or if it made them feel some type of way. So yeah, it makes me feel very special that you're all here. Thank you. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. You see the comments coming in. People enjoyed that. I'm not alone. I know. I can see you all here in the comments. I'm not alone at last. Thank you, Amy. So the next one I'm going to read you, again, is quite a short one. I have got some longer, sort of more meaningful poems coming up later. But this is a lantern, which is inherently quite a short poem. It's all made up of like small words and small syllables. That's the form of it, and it's called The Rescuers, and I wrote it in honour of people who work at the RSPCA. So here we go. Stress, molting, unsettled, clipped, ignored, hurt, lost, left out, neglected, abandoned, and scared. Life. Welcome to a new dawn of kindness, love, We are here, loving you, reviving you safe. So that's the rescuers. I love animals, as many of you will know. And I think the work that the RSPCA does is absolutely incredible. And I'm absolutely thrilled with all these tips coming in. Ruth Sutty is my top tipper at the moment. Well done, darling. Giving plenty of coin to the RSPCA. And then Johnny and Steve are fighting it out for second place at the moment. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. I've just seen your comment on that. Yeah, short words can sometimes give a great deal more power than the longer pieces, I think. I didn't realise how powerful that was going to be until I read it out. Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, so the next two were suggested by Laura, who's been one of my writing buddies this week. I don't think she's watching tonight. I haven't seen her pop up anywhere here, so she might be off doing other things at the moment, but she's been a huge source of support. And I asked her one day when I was looking for some subjects for the daily poems, because I had to write about 4 a day in order to complete the challenge. I asked her if she would give me suggestions of animals. So the next two were ones that she suggested, and one of the animals was a magpie and the other was a dragon. So this is how those poems turned out. So this is Magpie Gold. The gold of kings shines in her eye, caught on the fly, senses on fire with pure desire. A black-winged swoop, perchance to snatch the greatest catch, back to the skies with her strange prize. She will hoard it where she loves best, her treasure nest, secrets untold of Magpie Gold. There is quite a big theme about animals and nature tonight, of course, as we're in honour of the RSPCA. There's also some poems just about the experience that we're all going through with this whole COVID thing, and hopefully to give people some sort of solidarity and togetherness. So it's all getting a bit serious. So to cut through that immediately, this is the second of those two prompted poems from Laura. This is Recipe for a Dragon. Call home your heart, for its beats must form the bass as you rattle, clang and hammer in the anvil's cold embrace. Bring forth a hull of iron to hold fires from the forge, bathe scales in spinning sunlight that their beauty may engorge. Shape the eyes in amber with centres midnight black, and sharpen spines of solid steel to line the beastie's back. For you have not a dragon built if you do not impart your body bruises, sweat and blood, and more than half your heart. See, dragon strength is made, not born, in those who suffer deep. From bleak despair their powers rise, and fast through fear they leap. That was Recipe for a Dragon. I see dragons appearing in the comments. That's lovely. Oh, Amy's jumped into second place. Second highest tipper. Good grief. That happened quickly. Well done. The animals will thank you very, very much. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll just carry on. Indeed, no point blathering in between, is there? This is not one that was written during this week's challenge, but it is about animals and it's really good. So I wrote it. It has been written recently because it's one that was written from a prompt that was given during the daily poem videos that I've been doing on Instagram. So this one, some of you may have heard if you've been watching every day. So it was a few weeks ago though, so you may have forgotten it. It's called The Living Room, and it's about the relationship between my father and his cat. He's in. He's never in. He let me in the living room. I thought about sinking a claw in the nice chair, but didn't dare press my luck there. This may be a ruse yet, some excuse to trick poor pets, to put us to the test, to vet the best and cast the rest out. He watches me often, and that bears investigation. Our roles have reversed. No more waiting in the bushes to hear his footfalls, only cat calls. Where are you? Who've you been to? Come here and let me see you. I come and go as pleases me, small black paws padding empty streets, fleets of flashing blue lights smashing by, and I meet no one. Who've you been to? Not I. He let me in the living room. There's no better place to flout, stretch my claws and lay flat out. He's determined he'll return to those empty streets soon, but why? We have the living room. What's all that other fuss about? I like to think that's how my dad's cat thinks. Because I think pretty much as long as you let him in the room that he wants to be in, he doesn't care about anything else in the world. So it would be wonderful to be that chill about this situation right now, I think. So time is moving along, and so are we. What shall I read next? Yeah, I think I'll read a couple of fun ones. One of these was prompted by one of my friends, and indeed the other by the other. You guys are both here. I just realised I was going to say that one of you wasn't here, but you are. I do need to write one about Chayworth, definitely. I will, I promise. Actually, I will. I'll write you a poem about Chayworth, Amy. I promise. And that's on video. That's gone out live, that promise. So this one came from a prompt by Andy, and I'm not going to tell you what the prompt was until the end because it rather spoils the poem otherwise. This is called The Famine, and it's nowhere near as serious as the title suggests. We have displeased our great giver. No other means to explain it. I do not wish to cause alarm, but I fear I can't contain it. My people, we face crisis and starvation in our ranks, took our fortunes all for granted without giving proper thanks. Pray with me, my brothers, sisters young and elder too. Pray that our great givers may guide us what to do. For the riversides are empty, the canal banks concrete bare, not a breadcrumb floating idle or a biscuit going spare. Where did all the people go who used to feed us daily as we grew fat and greedy for their temptations tasty? We squawked and ducked and squabbled when they cast their crumbs aloft. Now they're all closed and cloistered, and we must pay the cost. Pray with me, my feathered ones, the famine soon to end, and when the humans rise again, be sure to call them friend. So, the prompt that Andy gave me for that one was, what do the ducks think about the fact that there are no longer people on the river to feed them anymore? Which I made it a bit dramatical. So yes, ducks, yeah, Redbeard got in there with the ducks. I see the emojis coming through, and I know by the lag that he got it before I finish reading it, which is very good. Okay, so I'm going to move on whilst the comments come through from that. Thank you. I see some nice messages coming in and some more tips. Good grief. Thank you so much. We're doing really well. We're up over like $100 here. I mean, there's some fees are going to come out of it for Stage It, but we're up to that already. So this is going to be like a nice chunky donation for the RSPCA. Thank you so much for your generosity, everybody. So this one was prompted by Kelly, who is also here tonight, and she asked me if I would write something about animals and how they're reacting to the fact that places are empty. What are the wild animals doing, you know? And then my friend Rob shared a video on Facebook of a herd of mountain goats in Wales coming down into the town from the Great Orme in Llandudno, and experiencing the empty town and exploring it for themselves. So that's where this one came from. This is called The Invaders, and I apologise in advance for my accent. I haven't seen one go by in a while. Broom brooms, like the big one that flattened our fill. Nobody's walking the hill either, neither man nor woman, nor the little yappy things they bring with them. Cyril says he braved the road. Took a chance leaving home, mind you, but he says no broom brooms on the go. The path is safe and clear for us. I wonder if it's true. I fancy we should check it out, but no, after you. I've never been to town before, it all seems rather nice. There's walls to climb and room to run and no need to think twice for danger. I'd always heard that human strangers would want to pen us in or chase us out. There's none of that about. If you perch your hooves on window panes and peer your heads in low, they're all in little boxes with their screens aglow. The town is ours for the taking, swapping mountainsides, going nationwide, a new world of our making. I did promise to read it in the accent of a Welsh mountain goat, which I hope I have achieved for you there. So that one was suggested by Kelly. Thank you so much for that. That was really fun to read, actually. So I will go, where will I go next? I'm going to read you one, this is another haiku one. So they come in little beats, little episodes. The best one yet. Thank you. I'll just get the comments through from that. Fabulous. Thank you so much, guys. So this is another haiku one. So these tend to be a bit more poignant. And this is a bit more about the experience that we're having at the moment during these times of COVID, indeed, and so on and so forth. And it's about productivity, because I know that a lot of people have said to me, oh, I really admire you being creative during this time and doing these things and stuff. But it's not really, because there's a lot of things that I'm not doing that I feel like, oh, maybe now would be an opportunity to do them. So if you think that I'm putting pressure on myself to be creative, not at all. This is indulgence. This is me enjoying something. You know, if I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't be doing it. This is about productivity, and that is indeed the name of the poem. So, productivity. What does it mean these days to live productively? Is it mastering a new language entirely, or just a few words? Is it running rings around the block or popping out to feed the birds? Was it getting out of bed today or going safe to sleep tonight? For every moment spent at home is one which fights the good fight. Whatever you did it. Another day closer to freedom. It was productive, a conscious effort of strength towards tomorrow. You made it again. No comparisons needed. You survived. Well done. So that is productivity, which I think we all think we need. You know, you see those memes online like, oh, if you don't come out of this a size 8 and have written your novel and have decorated your whole house, then so what? Just do what's right for you every day, whatever that is. And if that is being here and listening to me ramble on in poetry for a half hour or so and raising some money for a good cause, then well done to you. You've done your good deed for the day. So that was productivity. I'm gonna read the 26th poem that I wrote. So this was the last one that I finished yesterday when I finished the challenge, and I was really stuck because I'd already written 5 in a row at that point, and I messaged my dear friend Lexi, who is also watching, I believe. She better be. She better be here. So this is one that I wrote because I was like, help me, I just need one more topic. And she gave me such a wonderful idea. So this is called Dumb Luck. You're a rotten little terror, breaking everything you meet, yowling, yapping, yelping, always underneath my feet. I swear you've tried to kill me. On occasions I can't count, hiding at the tops of stairs, leaving deadly toys about. But now that we're together, and we're stuck this way a while, those stupid little things you do, I confess, they make me smile. I follow your adventures, from daybreak through to night. the Hoover that you're scared of, the thin air you try to fight. And in those special moments when you climb up on my lap and pretend you're not a monster but an angel in a nap, I'm lucky that I have you, not just in times like these, but for every minute, every hour, you put my heart at ease. So, as you may have guessed, that is another animal poem about the importance and frankly the luckiness of some of you that you have pets at the moment. As you all know, I really wish I did. So I'm living vicariously through everybody else's pets. So please continue to send me your pet photos. They do me great good during this time. What should we have next? Oh yes, let's have that. Let's have that. This is another one that was written specifically with the RSPCA in mind. And I was challenging myself with different forms as well to try and do different structures and different rhyme schemes and stuff to make it more more interesting for myself, so that I knew you know, what kinds of things I could write, really, with this being a creative challenge. So this is a terzarima sonnet, which will not mean much to most of you, but those of you who are aspiring poets, go on, look it up, try and write one, because this was not fun to write, but it sounds lovely once it's finished. And as I say, this is on the theme of the RSPCA once again. This is called Creatures in Need. Compassion takes its form in many guises, and in some, compassion takes no form at all. They wear their smiles, their empathy disguises, pretending prideful, the face before the fall. But creatures in need provide the test of truth. The faithful and compassionate hear their call, and those who grew the kindest hearts in their youth come forward heroes. They do not see the test, for their whole nature is to serve and to soothe. For creatures in need, these souls must do their best. Automatic compassion, no gain, no greed, role models we should hold above all the rest. If you seek true compassion in thought and deed, look to your actions, meeting creatures in need. I think you can always tell a good person by whether they're kind to animals or not. Truly believe that. So that's a little bit on where that one came from. Just looking at the comments and the tips and stuff again. Thank you so much. There's so much good money coming in. Thank you guys. I think we're going to be able to make a really good donation here. I will announce whatever the final donation amount is once it's released from Stage It. They are going to take some fees out of it because that's the nature of the platform. But I've also been given a cash donation from my parents as well. They've donated £10 each, so that should make up for some of the difference in the fees tonight as well, to put that in. So so many nice. You sent me a picture of Jake to help with this difficult time. Thank you so much. I'm sure it'll be something highly comedic now. Just going to take a sip of non-alcoholic beer for the purposes of Stage It, in case any admin from Stage It is watching. This is a non-alcoholic beer. Now, it says 5 minutes left on my timer. I should get a bit of encore time, so I shouldn't get cut off, but I do apologise if I do, because this is the first time I've ever used this platform. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what will happen. But I'm going to read you a few more. I'm going to jump to a few of the later ones, and then we'll go back and fill in a bit if we need to. So this is another one that Andy suggested to me because he was full of prompts the other day, and he sent me loads of adorable things about animals and animals being kind to other animals. This is quite a serious Shakespearean sonnet, actually. So again, I'm not going to tell you the context until afterwards, but I think Andy will know. So this is called This Sky of Night. I know how she feels, that creeping, lonely longing that comes with darkness. the moment most alone, the night sky and you only. Feeling small, feeling sleepless, feeling spent. I knew it this year and the last, and I remember well the sharp silence of loss, the wishes that we make, the times we cry, the bridge of grief we cannot get across. So I go to where she stands and observes, and for her silence offer her my own, some way towards the comfort she deserves, to whisper wordless, you are not alone. And so we wait and watch the changing light. We're arm in arm beneath this sky of night. Oh, doesn't it sound lovely? It's about penguins. Andy sent me a prompt that was about two penguins that had been bereaved and lost their mates and had started supporting one another by standing arm in arm, watching the night sky and the lights of the city from their zoo. So, with or without knowing that, it's beautiful, I think. So I hope you enjoyed that one very much. I'm going to do something empowering, I think, since we're sort of drawing to a close with the main bit here, and I'm conscious whether I'm going to get cut off or not. Hopefully not, because there's still tips coming through, guys. I would very much like to stay if there's going to be more tips for the encore. So this is, for anybody who cares about poetic form at all, a quadruple tetractys. Say that 3 times fast when you've had a bit more non-alcoholic beer. This one is another one of the sort of philosophical ones about being in this crisis, and it's called A Vow. I will rise. Broken world, hear me as I break from the rubble of mistakes made here. Fear not, I will learn to protect this world, never more to stand idle and watch it burn. I will rise. Appreciate the gift we have. Take my leave of unfeeling company. See with new eyes those who are true and kind, new and strong. To this challenge, I will rise. I think it's a promise we have to make going back into the world, especially seeing the behaviour of certain companies and people that, you know, are profiteering or being unfair, unkind, or just purely selfish at a time like this. We can learn from that, and they, you know, they should not be forgiven. We should go back with new eyes into a new world after all this is over. Well, that's what I think anyway, and I think, judging by you guys that are here, you probably agree with me. So my time is counting down, so I sincerely hope that I'm not going to get cut off, because I would like to read you a couple more, if you are game, for another 5 minutes or so. So we shall see what happens here. Oh, I think I just got that picture. I got a pet picture, indeed, on my phone. Thank you. So, yeah, I hope I'm not going to get interrupted in the middle of this one. Yes, indeed. This was another one that came from Laura when she gave me a bunch of animals to write poems about, but it didn't actually fully end up being specifically about that animal. It turned into something that was a lot more, not necessarily more meaningful, just that will resonate, I think. So the poetic form here is a rondo, which is, hope I'm still here because I'm into encore time, and a rondo has a repeated line which you will hear during these ones. So here we go. This is called Unbridled. You can guess the animal that it was about from that originally, I think. Loose me on the mountain, that I might see where the wild things rush in the air so free, that I might gallop to the peaks so high, where the tips of the cloud touch the sky, and the sources of rivers race to the sea. Let me canter windward and rest in lee, leap over boulders and scurry on scree, when the flame of freedom sparks in my eye, loose me on the mountain. For I long to be fierce, fast and carefree, to sing with the bird and buzz with the bee. When the woes of the day run patience dry, to the moss-green slopes of the hills I'll fly. And when this world has been enough for me, loose me on the mountain. Rondos are really hard to write, and again, they're one of those that turns out really beautiful. So I know I have some writers and some people who are interested in poetry. Go and write a rondo. Why not? Actually, Roberta's here, and she was the one who was like, oh, why don't you write a sestina? I was like, haha, no. I need more than a week to write one of those, let alone 26. But I did write other forms, as I say, that I've been going through here. Couple more. We're just on, what are we on? 8:31. Yeah, we got time. I'm still here. Thank you. Oh, thank goodness. Because there's such a lag on this that I could have been reading that for the last 90 seconds and not known whether you guys were still here or not. So that's fantastic. Thank you. Just seen that message at last. What shall we have next? What have we got? Oh yeah. Gosh, I haven't done this one. I was really looking forward to reading this one. I've completely forgotten. Again, this is a prompt from Andy. Again, from not from the cute animal stories that he sent me, although I did write a few about that on and off. But this was earlier than that, right at the beginning of the week when I was doing the challenge. And this one I will tell you at the beginning because I think it's fairly obvious anyway. He suggested that I write a poetic narrative about a gorilla and a bird making friends at the zoo when all the humans have gone. So this is called Mighty Me and Feathered Friend. The overwater creatures are gone. No little apes with coloured feet screaming to meet me at the glass wall. No crowds of creatures at all. Just us. Big, dark, hairy us and the blue shirts who bring the food. They hide nanas in the log and put cabbage on the tree, but I'm in no mood. I want my creatures back. Their coloured sacks packed with snacks that look interesting. I like to watch them eat. Today, I heard a tweet, strange and sweet, belonged to feathered thing I'd not seen before. Came to water for a drink, floated on it, didn't sink. It tweets and it eats. Most interesting. Stole my cabbage. I didn't mind. Went to find more for it, filled up the time. Sure, it's getting fatter by the day now. Wonder how it grows. Will it be as big as Mighty Me? Suppose I'll see. The world is quiet and it's new. And if my creatures don't come back, Feathered Friend will do. I think that one turned out really sweet. So I hope you guys like that one. That was Mighty Me and Feathered Friend. Just wondering what else to fit in here. Indeed. Oh, this is a short one. Can definitely fit this one in. This is a rispetto, which is an Italian form of poetry, which was short and easy. So something I was looking forward to doing after writing so many long and complicated poems. This one was surprisingly difficult still, as most poetry is. This is called Grateful. I've always been a proud rover, grateful, landing on foreign shores, footprints on the globe twice over. Travel opens minds, hearts and doors. The clips on our wings are brief, and when we gain the sweet relief of freedom, walk the world anew, be grateful of the gifts it gives to you. I am certainly an environmentalist at heart, which I didn't know. I didn't discover it about myself for many years, actually. I think we all go through a blind period in our lives before we get there, but I'm very pleased to have reached it. Especially being able to share this kind of stuff with you guys. So I think I'll do one more animal one, and then I'm going to end on the one that makes me cry, so that if I do start crying I can run away and end the show before you guys see it. So if that's okay with you, get your tips in if you have any more to give, indeed. But I mean, you guys have been so generous. There's some fantastic tips have come in, and I'm really, really grateful to you all, and I'm sure the RSPCA will be as well. So two more, and then I'm going, because I might cry, and it'd be very sad. So, I think, what shall we have? I can't choose anymore. I've read most of them, actually. I think we'll have the one that I read this morning. So some of you may have seen this. I apologise if you already have. But I think these would be two really good vibes to end on. Tips for Tears, yes. Excellent. This is a Kyrielle sonnet, which again is look up these forms. See the suffering that I've had this week, seriously. So this is called Tomorrow. Today is fingers crushing into palms, rushing, planning, wondering what's to be. Today is sanctions, lockdown and alarms. But there's a new day coming tomorrow. This week is boredom, where frustrations build, no place to go and nothing new to see. This week is springtime wishes unfulfilled. But there's a new day coming tomorrow. Last month was sadness, grief, an awful loss, a grip from which we all long to be free. Last month we paid the dearest human cost, but there's a new day coming tomorrow. Right now, it's friends and family we miss, the simpleness of touch from you to me. Whatever time it is, remember this, there's a new day coming tomorrow. I hope that gives a lift to anybody that needs it. Johnny's only here to see me cry. That's no great surprise. Just catching up on some comments here. Prompt aliens. Oh, who knew you were such a softie, really? I know. Causing problems here. Right, I'm going to make this the last one. Lexi, you're so shady. I'm going to make this the last one that I read, just in case I do get emotional, because then I can hit end show and I'll only have about a 15-second delay before I need to make my escape and cry buckets. This is a Terzanel, which is a kind of poem that has a lot of the same lines repeated, so it's really irritating to try and get those lines not only to work, but then they have to work when they repeat later on with other lines. So it was horrible to write, and I cried while writing it for very different reasons than I might cry while reading it. This is for my friends, actually, because I miss you and I miss all of us as a collective and how that feels to have a house full of people. And yeah, I'm gonna start reading it, otherwise I'm gonna cry before I even start. Nobody needs that. This is the last poem, and then I shall say my goodbyes for the night and set you free. This is called In the Sunshine. I'll see you in the sunshine. When all of this is over, I'll see you in the sunshine. In gardens filled with clover, we'll raise our glasses skyward when all of this is over. We'll make it there. Take my word. In a brave new world we'll meet. We'll raise our glasses skyward. When our duties are complete, we'll laugh and cry together. In a brave new world we'll meet. We'll meet in fairer weather, and when lonely times are through, we'll laugh and cry together. Till then, you know what to do. I'll see you in the sunshine, and when lonely times are through, I'll see you in the sunshine. I miss you guys a lot. So that is it. Thank you so much. We're up to nearly $140 on here in tips alone, which is really awesome. So Cat's eyes are broken. Oh bless. She crying. We're all crying. I'm not crying, actually. I read that through like 10 times this morning to try and get rid of all the emotions so that I wouldn't cry here. And I'm still a little bit like, I miss you guys. But it worked out all right. Okay, so I'm going to hit end show, and I don't really know what's going to happen when I do that, whether it ends immediately or not. So I suppose I'll just read comments and smile until you guys have officially gone. Thank you so much for supporting this. This is absolutely fantastic. We raised a nice packet here, even when the fees are gone out of it and stuff. We've got a nice chunk to give to the RSPCA. Thank you all so much for your generosity. I hope it's been worth it with me entertaining you. Some of you guys I will see to play a mystery game shortly, and the rest of you I expect to hear from. Send me messages, send me your pet photos, and I'll see you in the sunshine. Forgot to turn this one off, lol. Hello.